And welcome back to What's Up Vegas magazine. I'm Jimmy Emerson, host of the How to Jimmy Vegas show. And thank you for tuning in. We've been doing this now for almost a year. I've had so many wonderful guests on my show. Everyone from drag queens to celebrities to politicians to healthcare, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, you name it, they've all been on. And we want you to, first and foremost, go to our website, whatsup.vegas, not .com. Whatsup.Vegas. Say it with me, honey. Whatsup.Vegas. Thank you. And when it pops up, you'll see all sorts of wonderful things, shows, deals, interesting stories, current, international, Las Vegas stuff, gossip, my favorite, and lots of show tickets, discounted tickets, promotions, and of course my show. So be sure to do that. What's up, Vegas? And I'm here today, so thank you for coming. It's good to see you. This lovely lady next to me is Cynthia Watson, and you are here representing the Ryan White Part A grant. Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ryan White, for a lot of you that may not know, it's been a big name since the tragedy happened. Tell us real quick about that. It happened in 1990.
Well, it became an act in 1990. There was a lot going on before that.
That's right.
But, Ryan White has kind of a famous story. He was a little boy who was diagnosed as a hemophiliac, and he had a blood transfusion, and as a result of that transfusion, he became positive.
Right.
And his family was basically ostracized, I think pretty much by the whole state of Indiana.
Right.
He couldn't go to school, their family couldn't go to church, stigma, and he was like 12 years old.
Right.
And he also had two brothers that were hemophiliacs that did not become positive.
Right.
So there was a lot of prejudice against his family, and his mother decided that she was going to just champion for him. So regardless of what was being heard or said about the family, she fought for his rights. And a couple of big celebrities went to his aid, and that was Elton John. And I think Elizabeth Taylor was part of it.
A lot of celebrities jumped on, yes,
because
at the time.
It was just, it gave a different face to HIV, that it no longer was an older gay white man disease, that it was a disease that could affect anybody.
From every
it's
walk of life.
It's not prejudice, it doesn't care.
Which was way before that, but it was one more tragedy that caused everybody to sit up and pay attention again.
But because of the courage of his mother and testifying many times in front of Congress, it eventually was a law that was passed in 1990, the Ryan White Act. And it's been reauthorized many years through Congress. I think it technically expired in 2013, but it has continued to be reauthorized every year. Unfortunately, this year, the federal government chose a different route. The grant year has started always on March 1st for many, many years, and this year they held back the funds until June 1st. And when they let the agencies know that had received the grant that they were going to receive the money, they also let them know that they would receive about 25% of what the grants were actually written for.
Only 25%, not the full grant anymore.
The full grant.
So how does that affect people that have been depending on it for all these years?
Well, the financial part of providing the services, like I can't speak for other agencies. I know that our agency, no one's turned away. And if there's not a way to pay that we'll find a way to pay that, regardless of whether we have grant funding or not. But it did affect our agency. It's a grant that was written to accommodate 4 people, and there's lots of services as a result of that.
So it's
that we're not,
basically subsidized.
Yeah, so there are other programs that we really, like End the Epidemic as a program that's we refer to as EHE, and that's where you want to make sure that there's education and testing so that we can end the epidemic. They didn't fund that. And they say they might, or we could receive some funding. And there's another thing that's super important, and that's called Rapid Start. And Rapid Start is where there's throughout Clark County, there are sites where people get tested. If a person tests positive, there's like a hotline to call. So maybe you're a doctor's office that's not familiar with what to do. There's a hotline for them to call, and they receive an expert answers the phone.
So
and we get
just
that
for a
person.
second, I don't want to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
So someone gets diagnosed.
Yes.
And they don't know what to do.
Yeah, so they're
Because it's
scared.
like,
Well,
oh
not
my
only-
God.
They don't even. It's not that the physician might not know what to do.
Right.
They don't want to be the person to tell them,
Oh, okay.
because that's a hard decision.
Well, yeah.
That's a
See, I go
difficult-
way back. You know,
Yeah.
I'm 100 years old,
Yeah.
so I go back to the 70s and 80s. I lost a million friends.
Me too.
We all,
It's a very difficult
when it all started,
conversation.
and you know,
Yeah.
we don't have to rehash the old politics of it
No,
all. But
no.
Reagan wouldn't even say the word.
No.
You know, I'm still mad about that. But this is a show where we just try to bring fun, not
Yeah.
fun, but
Well,
important
yeah,
information.
yeah.
So,
So-
but that I does still have a little thing in my stomach comes up like,
Yeah.
ugh.
So that's a really hard conversation for
It is.
somebody to have with a patient.
It certainly would
So
be,
they
of
can
course.
call this Rapid Start hotline and have an expert on the phone.
So that's
or
the-
an expert
so
in.
Rapid Start.
But that didn't get
Do you
funded.
have that hotline number?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
so we're going to put it up
yeah,
for sure.
Well, it's not like a community. It's not
Yeah.
out there for everybody to call. It's a cell phone that we have.
Okay.
But the providers they have the information.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't need
But
to
for
share it.
anybody
Yeah.
that
they can just
feels
call.
finds themselves
They can
there,
call the center.
there's lots of places
Oh,
to
heck
turn
yeah,
to.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
And the health district is always a great resource.
Sure,
But
of
so
course.
is the center, because we do sexual health testing.
Yeah. The center here in
6
Las Vegas
days a week. Yeah.
has become
Yeah.
a long way over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to have been a part to help. I've done a lot of fundraisers and different things to help
No,
because
it's a
I'm
great
part of all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
you know,
it's a
like I
great
said, we've
organization.
lost a lot of people.
Sure.
So we've got to stay in touch and keep going.
Yeah.
So go ahead and tell us more about the grant.
Okay, so anyway, the grant is, we offer education, we offer, Ryan White Part A funds many things. It's the whole reason for the program is to make sure that people get healthy.
Sure.
And that they have dignity. So maybe they need meal help. Maybe they need housing assistance.
Right.
Maybe they just need someone to talk to. Maybe they want to connect with another person that's positive.
Right.
That they don't have to tell their family members because they're not comfortable.
Yeah.
Or they maybe need a way to learn how to tell their family members.
Well, there's that very important
yeah,
initially,
yeah.
but thank God we live in a day and age where it's not a death sentence.
No, and
anymore.
it's absolutely not. It
used to be.
But I will tell you that many people still think it is. And another unfortunate piece about living in Clark County in the state of Nevada is we don't educate our kids in school.
Wow.
So it's literally, against the school district's policy to talk about HIV.
So in the
to
old
every
days, we
student.
called it safe sex.
Yeah, well now your parent has to sign
Yeah.
a permission slip giving you permission to have the sexual education
Yeah.
versus
So
signing
how is a child or an
Yeah.
adolescent supposed to know,
Right.
hey, I could do anything I want,
Exactly.
don't worry about it,
Yeah.
but, oh, by the way, you should be aware.
Yeah, our school district, it's abstinence. That's what's taught, is abstinence.
Yes.
And kids need to take a permission slip home. What 14-year-old takes the
Yeah.
permission slip home?
Exactly. Well,
So, a lot of kids don't hear. So that's another big problem, is there's no education
Yeah.
with younger people. So they either think it doesn't exist anymore,
right.
so they don't, it's not part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So they don't worry about contracting HIV or having safe sex because they don't know about it. They haven't heard about it.
Well, there's
They think
that.
they actually
There's that,
think
or
it's
even
gone
if they
away.
do,
Yeah.
sometimes I've
Yeah.
experienced this.
Yeah.
They go, "Oh, don't worry, it's curable."
Yeah,
Well, it's
and it's
not
not
necessarily curable.
It's treatable.
Am I using the right word?
Yeah,
Treatable.
It is treatable.
Yeah, I have several friends
And the treatment's great,
that have lived 30 years now. That
and there's
would
this
have- in the old days.
Yeah, there's a super important promotion that it's you equals you. You means undetectable equals untransmittable.
Right.
So the goal is to get all of the people living with HIV undetectable, which
Yep.
is in the olden days, some people never got undetectable. Now a person can have a viral load that's off the charts.
Right.
And you think there's no way this is going to happen. And
Yeah.
in 3 weeks on medication, they can be undetectable.
Wow. Well,
And at that
that's
point,
a big progress.
it is a big progress.
But it's like,
And it's a pill a day, or now they have and there's a shot that you can get. There's an injection that you
Yeah.
can get every 2 months. And it has a huge success rate.
see, people need to know about that. It's really, knowledge is power.
It sure is.
Especially for kids. We all grew up.
Yeah, but
Yes,
it
I
is.
was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
I was right there at the time.
Me too.
I feel very fortunate. But honey, thank you so much for coming today and,
you're welcome.
and writing us. I say it all again. Cynthia Watson, case manager for Part A.
Yeah, Ryan White Part A.
Ryan White Part A, and we'll put up the information here.
Okay,
Is there a website that we need to know?
Well,
about?
it's the center's website.
Yeah.
thecenterlv.org.
There you go.
But there's information to just Google. Southern Nevada Health District is a partner.
Right.
We also have partners throughout the community. AFAN is a partner. AHF is a partner. Community Outreach Medical Center. The UMC Wellness Center. CAN. There's a lot of us, and we all work together.
We do. And there's a lot of organizations I just interviewed earlier this week.
Yeah.
The NGRA, for instance, the AFAN, like you mentioned, they raise and make awareness. This is the goal. They have,
and there's no competition. We all work together. The goal is just to make sure that people living with HIV have the dignity and the services that they deserve.
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to do. And that's the world we live in. And you know what? We just got to keep the faith that good things are going to happen. That's what I do. We don't get too political on my show, but I think everybody understands. Just pay attention. Look, watch, read. Okay? Is that all right? Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back later with more fun and festivity. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay. Bye.